Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is WSRP in Granite Square. This is Father Jerome J, O.S.B, pastor at St. Raphael. I'm very happy to bring you tonight's broadcast, or simulcast, or webcast, or casting your bread upon the waters. I don't know what exactly it is, but we're doing it. Anyway, first of all, we want to point out that we thought we would be on the air before John Krasnick, the famous actor, but he beat us to the punch with his SGN. SGN for Some Good News. And he has done a great job. I want to give a tip of the hat to that fellow. He's done a marvelous job in bringing some cheer to people in difficult times. I thought his show on the virtual prom was absolutely charming. And then to see Martha Stewart now out of jail and busy at the kitchen stove working away was wonderful. She was one of the ones contributing to the dinner party, virtual dinner party that he threw. I thought it was wonderful. But I do want to tell you, we do have some good news, and this particular bit of good news, well, it isn't really good news. Actually, it's tragic news. It's sad news. But there are some people of lesser aesthetic appreciation who will probably see it as good news. And that concerns the most wonderful show that has ever come to the stage in Manchester, New Hampshire. And that, ladies and gentlemen, as you well know, is the new St. Raphael Follies Edition 6. In the planning, in the rehearsals, but the COVID-19 phenomenon has put us out of business, at least for the short term. It is sad to say that our show, originally scheduled for late May, I think it was May 24th. Yes, it's May 24th, has had to be rolled back because of the coronavirus pandemic. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that only a pandemic could sweep us off the stage. Only a pandemic could bring Best Foot Forward to a screeching halt. We had to stop it. But we're in talks with the Dana Center at St. Anselm, and we hope to be able to reschedule the new St. Raphael Follies Edition 6. Can you imagine 6 years this has been going? This would have been our 6th year. We're hoping to reschedule that for the fall. The main problem is there's a heavy demand on the Dana Center at the college during the fall. So we hope we'll be able to reopen the college. We hope we'll be able to have the show. Who knows? Maybe the show will be repatriated to the parish. We don't know. But anyway, it's in the works. I would also like to say, and this is definitely good news, that there is talk, a growing surge, we hear that term from time to time, a growing surge for a release of a webcast called Best of the Follies. Seasons, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 seasons collectively. This is what people are asking for, and I say the audience should not be denied. So we're working on that. Now here in a more serious vein, we have some good news as well. I'm happy to tell you, people are always interested in what's going on up at the Abbey, that brothers Titus Michael Phelan and Basil Louis Franchos were brought in as lectors. This used to be called one of the minor orders of the priesthood, but it marks a milestone on their journey to ordination as priests of the church. Both young men are excellent confreres, and they're graduates of St. Anselm and both currently seminarians at St. John's Seminary in Boston. Titus holds a master's degree from the University of Notre Dame in theology and is from Massachusetts. Basil is from Utah. I know, Utah, it's kind of out there. It's a little far away from our field, but we're happy to have him. His family is from New England, and Basil is very welcome among us as well, of course. And the celebration was at the conventual mass this past Saturday, April 25th, up at the Abbey on the feast day of St. Mark, the name day of Abbot Mark. By the way, I'm happy to tell you that there are a number of priests working in the diocese with Bishop Labashi on the reopening of the churches. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I mean, certainly before mid-May, but by the end of May, perhaps, if all things look good and it can be done safely and in accord with the recommendations of New Hampshire state public health authorities. I understand that this Friday, the bishops of the United States and and Canada will dedicate both our countries to our Blessed Mother, to Mary, Mother of the Church. This does not remove any of the earlier dedications, but it is an additional one in light of the pandemic and asking Mary's assistance for all of the needs that we have in our country. Among the final things I want to mention is that we're very happy and proud of one of our monks in the American Cassinese congregation of the Order of St. Benedict, and that's Abbot President Elias Richard Lorenzo, who has been named by Pope Francis to serve as an auxiliary bishop in the Archdiocese of Newark. And it is expected that early next month, I think May 7th is the date given, but that too is up to the current situation with the virus. But Abbot Elias will be raised to the episcopacy, and I want to certainly assure him of the prayers and good wishes of all of us at a Benedictine parish up in New Hampshire. St. Raphael sends you, Abbot Elias, our prayerful best wishes for a very fruitful and joyful ministry as a bishop in the church. You know, I'd like to make an observation. WSRP in Granite Square is not just an opportunity to see another pretty face. Hi. It's an opportunity not just to hear a brief summary of the news from St. Raphael and around the church. It's also an opportunity to get to know some of the people of our parish, an opportunity to understand some of the very good work that people do sometimes every day at St. Raphael. Now, recently I had an opportunity to talk to Doreen Turner. Doreen is the coordinator for our St. Raphael Food Pantry and Hope Chest, and there is no part of the parish that has a more direct impact on the lives of the poor and those who need our help than the Food Pantry and the Hope Chest. Good morning. I'm Father Jerome, a pastor here at St. Raphael, and we're in the Nook at the rectory. This is the place where it happens. This is where more than a few meetings occur. This is where more than a few decisions are made, and this is where I have breakfast, lunch, and supper on a fairly regular basis. So welcome to my little world. But I'm happy to welcome to my little nook here in the rectory, Doreen Turner. Doreen needs little or no introduction to anybody at St. Raphael. As you know, Doreen is a lifelong member of St. Raphael, Doreen Hebert Turner, and maybe we can turn it over to Doreen in just a moment. She can tell us a little bit about her background. And then I have some questions for her because Doreen is with us this morning because she serves as the director and the coordinator for the St. Raphael Food Pantry and Hope Chest. And during this time of concern over the coronavirus pandemic and the needs of so many of our brothers and sisters right here on the west side, right here in Granite Square, in fact, Doreen has a lot of responsibility, and we're interested to hear how she and her team have adapted to this new change. But maybe tell us a little bit about yourself, Doreen. Welcome.
Thank you, Father Jerome. It's my pleasure. As Father said, I was born and brought up at St. Raphael, went to school here, and I'm still here. Now I'm running the food pantry, and during this time it's a little difficult for the people and for the workers, but we have been offering quite a bit of extra food for them. Folks who have young children, we give them extra, and we tell them that they can come every week rather than every other week, which is the standard way that we do it. They're very happy with all of that. What we do as workers, some wear gloves, and we all wear a mask, and we greet them at the back porch where we ask their name, and then we take the person who greets the guest, goes to the office and gets the folks' name and how many bags that they receive. It's all in our computer, and the larger the family, the more bags they get. So we bring all of that out to the exit porch, and with no touching of hands or anything like that, they pick up everything that we put out for them, and they go on their way. We have not as many people as I thought would come, especially our regulars. I think they're staying away because of the way things are, and they're probably sheltering in place. We've had some phone calls for deliveries from the east side and some right here in the Parish area. So we've brought food to them because they're handicapped and unable to get here on their own.
So that's a tremendous service that you provide them. Not only the food, which is a basic set of staples that they would need in the course of the week, but also the delivery service. So is that an area where volunteers might be of help to you, or maybe not? You have to figure that out, see how it develops, perhaps. Might be the thing to do. Tell us one thing. I'm always interested in it. I helped you the other day, as I often do. Tell me what is the standard bag? What sort of food would you have in it?
Well, the standard bag is pasta sauce, pasta in the form of spaghetti. We also give them a box of macaroni, some mac and cheese, SpaghettiOs. Let's see, 2 vegetables that we put 2 vegetables in the bag as well, and 2 cans of soup, a can of beans, tuna fish, fruit. And when we have extra, like we have now from the USDA, we add a can of pork. Doesn't sound very appetizing, but I can assure you that it's very tasty. I'm the guinea pig when we get different kinds of food. We try it out first, and if I survive, then that's a good thing.
It is. It's a very good thing.
And so we have been adding a lot of extra things for them. Again, because they have children at home, or they can use the extra amount of food.
You also provide breakfast cereal, and you provide breads of all kinds, and often desserts that are. I know for me, when I walk by and I see all of that laden table, I'm a little tempted, but so far I've been able to resist. But these are all things that are good for people. It may not be the most, how would we say it, California style healthy stuff, but it's good, nourishing food, and it tides people over. One of the things that you started that I thought was very nice during the summer, and we're coming into the summer growing season, is that people who have gardens at home often bring in fresh vegetables and so on for people to have. So is that another thing that you would be looking forward to?
Yes.
down the
Yes.
Down the year.
Yes. Also, when I get a delivery, as I did this morning, from USDA, it's Community Service Program that we belong to, and every other month they allow us to come in and get as much food as they have to offer, and sometimes I get 2 pickup trucks full of different things for food. And last week we from the food bank we received 5 boxes of 15 dozen eggs that we're able to give out, and so we're able to give them the extra things like that.
That's great.
Yeah.
What is the relationship between the St. Raphael Food Pantry and the diocesan-sponsored food bank, New Hampshire Food Bank? Can you explain that to our live streamed audience?
Well, the food bank is run by Catholic Charities in the Diocese of Manchester, and we are a member of the food bank, and they're another agency where we are able to get the food that we need. They say it varies from week to week what they're able to give to us because of the quantities and all. And so they pare it down. So we're able to get sometimes 3 cases of spaghetti sauce or 2 case boxes of cereal. And it all helps us. Some of it is free, and others we are able to purchase for like 18 cents a pound for the food that we receive. One week we could be taking in about $1,600 worth of food from the food bank, and it only costs us $27. So our shopping time there is well worth the effort, because they too offer different things at different times.
So St. Raphael food program here, the food pantry, is many things. It's an aggregator. It collects food from other sources, and then it also generates through our parishioners our own food. There are obviously contributions to us from our own people or friends of St. Raphael. St. Elizabeth Seton has been a very supportive parish as well of St. Raphael, our daughter parish, and they contribute both people and food stuff and funds. So we're very grateful for that. So it's really is a community effort, isn't it? Now, how many people do you have to? Two questions. How many people on average per week, Doreen, would the food pantry serve? And I guess what I'm asking that is how many people come and bags go out, because obviously there'd be more people at home benefiting from that. And then how many people from the parish would be involved in making the food pantry activities happen?
The average number of people that we have come to us is between 20 families and 30 families
Per week.
Per week.
Okay.
And I have at least 45 volunteers. Some out of the 45 volunteers, I think probably 40 are from St. Raphael Parish. And it consists of, their jobs consist of making bags, putting bags together to be given out on a Monday night, someone to work in the office to run the computer each Monday night, and then we have teams of folks. They set out all the things that we're giving away that week, and they help pack them up, and then at this point we're not letting folks in, we're packing bags for them of produce and perishables. And so I would say
that's a good crowd. That's it.
Some are from St. Elizabeth Seton.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest activities in the parish then.
Yeah, it is.
And it's demanding, and it goes all through the week, right? Because I mean,
Right.
you have a big crew here on Monday nights when you have distribution, but then later in the week there's the preparation for the coming Monday night.
Right.
And I'm told, because I'm not only told, I see this every Monday. We have youngsters, I think grade 6 from St. Benedict Academy when they're in session. Obviously the youngsters are at home too as part of the pandemic precautions. But what do the kids do?
On Monday mornings, the poor 6th graders, they offer up their recess, and they come over to our basement where we operate, and they carry bags up into the rectory. We have a section of the rectory that we set up just for the food bank, and so they bring at least 30 bags up on a Monday morning, and then they recycle whatever we may have for cardboard, because we do recycle. And
They bring things over from the
they bring
church,
things,
which people have left or during the Sunday
right.
And vigil masses, right?
Exactly. We have a lot of donations from our parishioners, and it's very, very helpful for us because there's always something that we have to purchase. Running out of things, we go to the grocery store to pick up and all. So the sixth graders, when sometimes on a Monday we have an order that comes.
Can I interrupt you for just
Sure.
a minute? I'm going to go and answer the door because it just rang.
Okay.
But when you finish with this bit, maybe you could also kind of wind up and talk to our viewing audience about there's some kind of prayer that you do at the beginning. Talk a little bit about that, if you would. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. At the food pantry on Monday evening, where all the workers gather, we have a prayer that we say that kind of it centers us for the evening, just praying to remember to the people we're serving could be Christ. And we try to remember that all of this, all that we have comes from Him, and that we want everyone that comes through the door to be remembered in that way. And it's a very nice prayer, very touching, and it really does appeal to all of the workers because they're always reminding, what time are we going to pray? How are we getting started? But we're going to pray first. So it's a thing that has come to really be probably one of the best things that we do, is remember who is giving us all of these goods.
Hi, back again. One of the nice features at St. Raphael that we have that I certainly get to see is the presence of the youngsters at St. Benedict Academy. They're a wonderful group of kids, and they have a great faculty, great administration, and so forth. And I certainly believe that all of us at St. Raphael are proud and grateful that we're able to host the school. It presents us some challenges from time to time, but it's also a source of great opportunity. And one of the things that happens is that sometimes people enroll their youngsters in our school and then kind of discover the parish and realize this is a parish I'd like to be part of. And that certainly happened in the case of Kathy and Patrick Arnold. They enrolled their daughter Abbey at St. Benedict, and before long we found them coming to Mass here, and they've joined the parish. Patrick is a lawyer in town, and he's made a lot of contributions to the Finance Council here at St. Raphael, and I appreciate that. And his wife Kathy is just a person that brims over with energy and enthusiasm. So both of them are wonderful to have, and Abby is a charmer, and at some point down the road you may get a chance to meet her. But Patrick, in his function as a member of the St. Raphael Finance Council, wanted to share a word about the state of our finances and some of our needs. So I'll turn it over to Patrick right now.
Hi, I'm Patrick Arnold, and I'm a parishioner at St. Raphael Parish in Manchester, New Hampshire. We're living through a very scary moment in world history, with COVID-19 impacting every facet of our daily lives. Just think of how radically life has changed in the last few weeks alone. Never would I have thought I would live through such a crisis in my lifetime, and I'm confident many of you feel the same way. And yet, despite this crisis, churches throughout New Hampshire and throughout the world continue to remain active at work in our communities. They continue to preach the gospel. They continue to pray for our families and our loved ones. And they're continuing to creatively find new ways to bring the liturgy into our lives. At my own parish, Father Jerome J became the first priest in New Hampshire to live stream Mass daily so that parishioners may participate in worship from the safety of their own homes. He also introduced confessions on the rectory porch to make that sacrament available while also reducing risk of the virus's spread. He's opened the church up for periods of individual prayer, and he's also added devotional periods to the calendar, just to offer more options for the faithful. This year, for example, we recited the Divine Mercy Chaplet on Divine Mercy Sunday, and we read the Gospel of Mark in its entirety on the Tuesday of Holy Week. All of these activities are live streamed on Facebook and YouTube, and you can rest assured that even greater efforts will be made to minister to the people of St. Raphael and beyond in the weeks ahead. Now comes the serious part of this conversation. We need your kindness and your generous support to keep our parish afloat. If you're watching this video or have participated in the masses or devotions offered here at St. Raphael, I'm asking you to consider digging into your pockets to donate today. Every dollar raised goes to ministering directly to you and your neighbors. I know that financial times are uncertain, and I'm not asking for you to assume any greater risk for yourself or for your families. I'm only asking you to consider donating or increasing your already generous donation so that we may continue to keep our parish running. To make a donation, just click on the link below, which will take you to our online giving page. To paraphrase our creed, we are one apostolic and Catholic church, and we will survive this crisis. Thanks for watching, and may God bless us and bring an end to this virus, which has brought our world to a halt. Back to you, Father Jerome.
Thanks, Pat. Appreciate bouncing the ball back to me. You have certainly rung the bell for all of us in the parish to be aware of the financial constraints and the financial demands on St. Raphael. And we realize that there are many people in the parish who are suffering with dislocation in their employment. And so we want to be sensitive to them, but certainly to encourage those who are able to contribute. We certainly appreciate that. So as I said, you rang the bell like that. Oh my, look at that. And one more time. Now, you wonder, why does he have a bell? Why does he have a desk bell on the desk as he's doing this presentation? Well, Sister Mary Cleopas came over and she was reminding me that these bells were on the desks of all of the sisters at St. Raphael School and in most Catholic schools throughout the United States. Many people do not realize it, but we have a little mini museum in the rectory of various artifacts that come from the life and the history of St. Raphael over the years. And I thought that during these broadcasts, we might actually take a look at some of them. So this is the bell, and many of our older viewers will remember them. And they were used by the sisters and some of the lay teachers too, to signal the start of class, the end of an exam, the beginning of an exam, time for prayers, time for recess, time for lunch, whatever it might be. And the sisters who used them knew how to use them very well. There were sometimes even codes. Now, as many know, during the years when St. Raphael School was St. Raphael School, we were privileged to have first the Benedictine sisters who came to us, I believe from St. Elizabeth's Convent in New Jersey, and then they served here for a period of time, and then they went back to other ministries closer to their mother house. And then we were served for many, many years by the much beloved Sisters of Mercy, and as they did in many other places in the country, but they certainly served here. And then later, after the sisters stepped back and St. Raphael became West Side Catholic School, and then eventually West Side Catholic something, you know what it is. It's got a lot of names. It's a West Side Regional Catholic something. Then it became St. Benedict Academy. But anyway, they all used the bell. So we have one in the rectory in our little museum. It's a reminder to us that in a broader sense, bells have governed the life of the church for a long time. They've called people to worship. They've warned of danger. They've opened markets. They signal the celebration of the hours of the church, and they also kind of govern the life of our schools. So what do you think of that? That will do it for now. Those are some of the highlights of news from St. Raphael and affecting St. Raphael. Tune in again for our next broadcast. We don't know when that will be. That could be next week. It could be weeks from now. It could be never. But we hope it will be sometime soon, and we'll let you know. So anyway, that's the news from WSRP in Granite Square. God bless.